What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick'em plays for Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. It's Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com. There's no space. That's one word, DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or the Underdog Fantasy app. Get a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. Literally the best deposit match bonus out there on Underdog. There's bigger shows on this one. There's bigger platforms, but none of them have a better promo code than me. So if you got a friend that hasn't signed up yet, tell them to use promo code DailyDog, because friends don't let friends use worse promo codes. All right, yesterday we were profitable with our tennis picks. Both of our tennis entries came home, flying colors, went exactly as expected. Love to see that. It's good to get on the board on a Tuesday that way. We're going to be back today, though, with plenty more picks. Start out with NFL. Obviously, I've given up 2 entries already this week in the NFL, but I'll recap the 2 ones that I've already given out and then give you the new one for today. All right, from Monday, Austin Ekeler higher than 47.5 rushing plus receiving yards. It's down at 45.5. I don't know why this is going down. I think Eckler's still going to have success. I know the defense for the Eagles is obviously very, very good. Ekeler, though, is a 30-30 threat no matter what. 25-25 threat, I guess I should say. It's closer to the number we need, but I still think that he's going to go over 45.5, 47.5. I think you can play this up to 49.5. So there's plenty of room on the Austin Ekeler combo yards there. And then Harrison Butker higher than 1.5 field goals made. Excuse me. Harrison Butker higher than 1.5 field goals made. Playoff weather at Arrowhead. Chiefs obviously have a reputation of high flying offense, but they kick a lot of field goals. Butker in this weather. This time of year, he is very solid. So give me Harrison Butker higher than 1.5 field goals made. That's 3x multiplier. One I gave out yesterday. Saquon Barkley lower than 126.5 rushing yards. It's up to 128.5. I get it. He's had some massive, massive games, especially in consecutive and back-to-back weeks. He's been crushing it. Just playoff football, this type of number is not one that I'm going to be rushing to take the higher than. I'm going to go lower, 126.5. Saquon Barkley can have a 115, 120 yard game and we could still hit this lower. Think about that. He could have 3 touchdowns, 120 rushing yards, and we still hit our lower. I mean, come on. This is too high. And then pairing that with Isiah Pacheco, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. I know we're threading the needle a little bit there with 2 field goals from Butker and a touchdown from Pacheco. But again, playoff weather in Arrowhead, they're going to be pretty conservative. They're going to be pounding the rock. Pacheco, touchdown for me. That's a 4.05x multiplier. All right, continuing. NHL number 3, a new one added for today. Zach Ertz higher than 3.5 receptions against his old team. Ertz isn't necessarily, his yardage is at 31.5. He's not necessarily at age 34. They're not using him deep very often. Zach Ertz is going to get a guy that they're going to use to check down. They're going to use him on 3rd and 4. They're going to use him in some of the short yardage, maybe even the red zone. I think 4 receptions is a much better bet than to take the higher than 31.5 receiving yards, because he's literally a guy who can get 4 for 28. I think he did it a couple of games ago. So give me 4 receptions or higher than 3.5 receptions for Zach Ertz. Pairing that with DeAndre Hopkins, higher than 22.5 receiving yards. He burned us last week because he only had 1 target on that game. Didn't get him close to the 28.5, and he got steamed up to the low 30s, 33.5, 32.5. But I think that, again, it's time to buy low on DeAndre Hopkins, higher than 22.5 receiving yards. I don't think that he's going to be a non-factor in this game. I think that they're going to rely on the veteran. Same logic I had last week. It just didn't come home. All right, that's 3x multiplier. Those 2 veteran pass catchers there. NBA number 1 for today. We're going to go Jalen, Duren higher than 0.5 doubles. He is, the interior man. I think interior guys can play okay against this Hawks team. I know that it's on the road in Atlanta, but Duren, high double-double, 10 points, 10 assists, or 10 rebounds, not assists, is what we need here. Pairing that with Anthony Edwards, higher than 3.5 3-pointers made. And Edwards obviously has been shooting a ton of 3-pointers this season. When you're getting a enhanced multiplier for him to go higher than 3.5, it's just hard to resist, especially against the Mavs. I know it's a low total game, but I think that he's going to be shooting plenty of 3-pointers here to get over this one. So that with Jalen Duren higher than 0.5 double-doubles at 3.62x multiplier. All right. Next NBA, we're going to go with Domantas Sabonis, higher than 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I love taking interior players against this Warriors team. I think the Warriors are kind of terrible interior. I mean, newsflash, or it's not anything crazy there, but I really do think that Domantas Sabonis higher than 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists is going to happen here. I think he's going to be in the high 20s in points. I think he's going to be in the teens in He's going to be in the teens in rebounds, and I think he's going to be 6-7 assists. So give me Domantas Sabonis higher than 40.5 points, rebounds, assists. Pairing that with John Morant higher than 22.5 points. Low number. John Morant's not been crushing it from a scoring perspective, but he gets to host the Charlotte Hornets here. This team does not play much defense. Give me John Morant higher than 22.5 points. That's a 3x multiplier. All right, NHL number 1. We are going with our guy, Auston Matthews, higher than 0.5 assists. He's recently come back from injury, obviously. Important game for these Maple Leafs as the Blue Jackets, underrated Blue Jackets, come to town. They've been playing very well lately. But again, I think that there's going to be opportunity for Auston Matthews to get an assist in this game. Pairing that with Winnipeg Jets, Kyle Connor, higher than 0.5 assists on the road at the Avalanche. Low total game, but I think it has mostly to do with Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, I know Mackenzie Blackwood's having a solid season, but I think that it's going to be easier for the Jets to score than the Avalanche to score. That doesn't mean the Avalanche aren't going to score, but I think that there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Kyle Connor to get an assist here. That's a 3.15x multiplier. All right, NHL number 2. Those were the assists. Here comes the goals. Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils, higher than 0.5 goals as the Boston Bruins come to town. Bruins are not the defensive stalwart team that they have been in past years. Jack Hughes, we like to play him. He's obviously a guy who can score a lot of goals. I believe I don't believe, but I mean, he's got 18 goals on the year, about 1 every 2 games. I think that this is a good spot, kind of a must-win spot for the Devils after they've lost 4 in a row. Good spot for their team leader, their best goal scorer, Jack Hughes, to get one. Pairing that with Adrian Kempe of the LA Kings, higher than 0.5 goals as the Panthers come to town. Panthers back-to-back LA road trip, long road trip. Give me Kempe to score a goal here. He's got 23 on the season, so I like our averages there. Better than once every other game. Kempe higher than 0.5 goals. Jack Hughes higher than 0.5 goals. 3.51x multiplier. Okay, tennis. Yesterday we delivered with tennis. Yannick Sinner lower than 0.5 sets lost. That came home. He won straight sets against the local favorite, Alex de Minaur, as expected. De Minaur served not good enough to control his service games. And then Iga Swiatek lower than 18.0 games against Emma Navarro. She won 6-1, 6-2, so very easy 15 games there, no problem at all. We had Madison Keys higher than 22.0 games played because I thought that was going to go 3 against Alina Svitolina. It did go higher than, it did go 3 sets, so that came home. And then Ben Shelton higher than 42.0 games played. I said there'd be at least a tiebreaker and there would be 4 sets at least. There was. Ben, though. Ben is looking awesome this whole tournament. He's taking a huge step forward this year. I was not a fan of Ben, but the way that he has kept it together in these tough matches over the course of this Australian Open really opened my eyes. There might be hope for the young Americans still. So that one came home as well. Those were combined 6.39x. So that was beautiful to get home. All right, let's get to tennis for tonight. This is going to be midnight or early morning for the people on the East Coast. We're going to go with Aryna Sabalenka, lower than 0.5 sets, lost against Paula Badosa. Badosa having a great tournament. Badosa kept it together versus Coco. Sabalenka, though, is just a hard nut to crack. I think Sabalenka is going to be able to control her service games and get it done. Pairing that with Iga Swiatek, lower than 19.5 games played against Madison Keys. Well, this could go 2 ways. I think that Swiatek could get hit off the court and it could be a short match, or Iga continues to dominate like she has all tournament and Keys gets fallen off the court. So 3x multiplier with those 2. Then tennis number 2, we're going to go with Paula Badosa, lower than 4.0 aces against Sabalenka. I don't know if she's going to be super aggressive on her serve. She probably should be, but she's not. It's not like she's been acing women all over the court in the tournament thus far. I think just Sabalenka is scary. You don't want to be giving away free points, so I don't think Badosa is going to be that aggressive on her serve. Lower than 4.0 aces for Paula Badosa. Pairing that with Iga Swiatek, higher than 1.5 aces against Madison Keys. Swiatek isn't a huge ace player for sure, but I don't know. Keys' return is not the best, not the quickest, most fleet of foot player. I think there's going to be some opportunities for Swiatek to get some free points. So 3x multiplier, Badosa lower than 4.0 aces, and Iga Swiatek higher than 1.5 aces. All right, lotto number 1. This is a big time lotto. Cade Cunningham, higher than 0.5 triple doubles. He had a triple double last time he played the Hawks. He's always a triple double threat. This thing makes our slip go crazy. You're going to pair that with DeMar DeRozan, higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. Obviously he's not the biggest 3-point shooter in the world, but he's definitely capable of shooting 2 3-pointers. It's kind of crazy that we're getting such a big multiplier on that. If you ask me, he's number 2 scorer for this team. He's gotten he's gotten 2 3-pointers in 2 of his last 3 games. And then pairing that with Cole McCarr, higher than 0.5 goals, a little bit crazy because Hellebuyck is on the other side, but I think there's going to be goals for the Avs there. This is a 122.48x multiplier if this goes 3 for 3. If it goes 2 out of 3, or if you play it as a flex, you get 61.24x or 13.51x if it goes 2 for 3. So I think that flex option is very, very attractive. But if it goes, if you play it straight up, 122.48x on that lotto slip, only 3 entries. All right, that's all I got for you today. Good luck on your entries, and let's make some money.